Hi FlossTube Stitchers. I haven't set up in this location in a while, probably because I hadn't changed out that pegboard anytime recently. If you remember correctly, it was the monthly wall where we would have usually 11 out of the 12 months on display from various designers' series, and the stitcher would have the current month at home. So I decided for the tour, which was 2 weeks ago, it ran for 9 days, and it was like, it ended, let's see, today's Sunday, it ended a week ago yesterday. And I decided to switch some things up in the shop, and I wanted to put Plum Street samplers back on a pegboard wall. So I moved the monthlies elsewhere. So I decided to show you that today. And I'm going to start off with my vintage stitch, only because I have the picture ready to show on my phone, and I'll try to remember to put it at the end also, because I know that it's very hard to show. Let's see, I had it at the, if I get it at a certain angle, you can see it without any glare. But this is my mom, Joanne, in the doorway to her room at Memory Care at Danbury Senior Living in Brunswick. And she is wearing a sweatshirt that I did waist canvas on years and years ago, probably the 80s, back when that was really popular. It was a Leisure Arts design. And it's a teddy bear with a headband and a towel around its neck. She's supposed to be exercising, and it says, "Are we having fun yet?" And I had come across that sweatshirt when we were cleaning out their house, and I hesitated to give it away until I had her try it on, and it just, I don't know, it was just never the right time. And you know, you have to put it over her head, and she's not always in the mood for a fuss when it comes to getting dressed. And so I kept it in her closet, thinking one of these days I'm going to try on a few of the sweatshirts and see if they fit. And if they didn't fit, then maybe I would keep them for myself. I don't know, would I really wear that? I never really was into teddy bears, but I thought it was fun because we took jazzercise classes together. So anyway, that day, I think my phone said it was September 27th, I went to visit her, and it totally surprised me that they had her wearing that sweatshirt from the back of her closet. So I was thrilled that it still fit her. So we teased about it. I asked her if she knew what that meant and if she remembered doing jazzercise with me, and she was like, oh. So I'm not sure whether she remembered or not, but she looks really good in that color too, doesn't she? So I'll try to remember to put that photo at the end. I'm also going to show you photos from, I guess it was National Assisted Living Week, and their facility participated with activities every day, and my dad tried to take her to everything that he could. So that's that. That's my vintage stitch. Let's see, I talked about the tour. The last video I did was the slideshow for the needlework show, and I was planning or hoping to do a video in between those times. So I was all set like on Sunday to do a video, and it didn't happen. And then I came back on Monday and I thought I was going to do a video, and I actually even wore the same outfit that I had worn on Sunday, thinking, oh, well, this looks cute and it looks fallish, I'll wear this. And it didn't happen. I was working on other things, inventories, and you know, getting ready for the tour and doing mail orders. And then on Thursday, I told my husband, I'm going to stay late because, you know, I think I'm going to do a video tonight, and then it'll kind of be in the middle of a 2-week period, so it won't seem like I took too much time away. And so I stayed late, and at 7 I called him and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm not quite ready to come home yet, but I decided not to do a video because that would be ridiculous. The tour started the next day. And he's like, yeah, it would be ridiculous. I don't know what you were thinking. So anyway, I'm sure anyone that was expecting, oh, low power mode. Darn, low power mode. I might have to pause this and charge it up and continue it in a little bit. Anyway, so I didn't get it done then either, but anyone expecting a mail order package was probably really glad that I spent my time wisely. Okay, I'm gonna try to figure out how, maybe I can, okay, I think this will work. I didn't even realize that I had a long enough cord that I could plug it into the opposite wall. So anyway, I didn't do a video in between the needlework show and the tour, but I had planned on doing a little extension to add some information about Bonnie's ribbons. In fact, I joked with her that I actually had planned ahead. I'm always writing ideas down for what I'm going to do for the next FlossTube, and not to forget this, or this new thing came in, and if I don't write it down, I'm going to forget to tell you about it. And I actually moved ahead a couple videos and put some ideas down. And for this video, I actually titled it Bonnie's Ribbons. It was before the show had even started. It was before her pieces were even entered. But I knew she was going to win ribbons because she's a really good stitcher. So she was kind of surprised. I encouraged her to enter, basically, because I had nothing of value, you know, with my elbow. I didn't really get back into stitching until April, and I did nothing of consequence. I guess I could have entered a few things just for display purposes, but I didn't think about it in time. So anyway, I walked around the shop with her, and we decided on 4 things, and she gave me her entry money. And so she just joked. She said, well, I thought maybe I might win a ribbon, but she actually won 4 first place ribbons and a technical excellence, which you probably saw already if you watched the video. But I thought I would read you the comments and show you the pictures a little more up close. So I have the judging form right in front of me. And I know I've talked about this in previous years, but just to refresh your memory, the form they're using now at Medina Needle Art Guild has 5 categories. The first one, workmanship and technique, and there's a maximum 50 points available there. Then the next 3, suitability of materials, color and balance, and then finishing are all worth a maximum of 10 points each. And then the 5th category is overall visual appearance and presentation, and the max points are 20. So that adds up to 100, and I'm going to show each piece individually. Some of them were awkward to hold in front of the camera, or because they have glass on them, I needed to photograph them in from a certain direction. So I think I'll put that video in right now. Okay, this is kind of a strange angle, but I'm trying to avoid glare on the glass. So from this vantage point, you only see one light reflected, and it's at the bottom of the piece, so hopefully you can still enjoy the stitching and the interesting shaped mat. This is Believe in Miracles by Scissortail Designs. And for this, Bonnie received the maximum 100 points from the judges. And the comments were, sometimes simple is best, crisp, clean presentation. This is Colorful Bunny, Pink and Green by Kitty and Me Designs. And for this, as you can see, Bonnie got a first place and a technical excellence. They did give her a total score of 99 with 1 point taken off because there's a tiny speck of lint on the bunny's right eye, so the eye that we're looking at on the left. And I tried to zoom in and see if I could show it to you clearly, but the piece just gets really blurry, so that doesn't help. I almost thought maybe it was a bit of filament from the metallic that she used, but it's really hard to tell. I'm sure she's not going to take it apart and fix it because nobody notices it when it's on the wall. But she still got the technical excellence, so she's pretty happy with that. This is Heart in Hand Needle Art's Big Hearted Tiny Town. I think this might have been the first one in their series. I don't remember now. And the judges had said, excellent technique. Framing colors complement the needlework nicely. but they felt the outer frame was too strong. So because they had already complemented the colors, I'm thinking they meant it was too wide. But we thought it was perfectly appropriate, and it really will probably not change the way Bonnie sees things as an artist. But anyway, she got 97 points for this. Okay, I think I've got a good angle here where you can't see much reflected in the glass. This is a large vertical piece with 3 openings, and it's the Flamingo Ornament series from Hands On Design. And Bonnie doesn't usually do a Christmas tree, so this was a perfect way for her to do some beachy things for her house without finishing them as ornaments. I'm going to slowly come down so you can see all of them, hopefully without making you dizzy. The top one was Flamingo Bells. Then there's Fa La La Mingo and Flamingo All the Way. And so I think I'm going to stop here so you can appreciate the first place ribbon. This was the only piece where the judges actually took off points for workmanship. And they noticed the thread connecting the beads. Let's see if I can get close enough. I thought Bonnie did a great job of connecting them consistently and without much visibility. But they suggested that if a stitcher has this situation, they put a piece of muslin behind the linen before attaching the beads so that you don't see that line. And I've heard that tip before. I've given that tip before. I'm not sure how many people really want to fuss with working through a piece of muslin. But it is an idea, and we'll accept their 2 cents. There's still a first place ribbon, so we're all happy about that. All right, and then she surprised me last Saturday, I guess it was, with 2 more pieces that she had finished. So you know these are going to be entered next year. I will not forget because I'm talking about it. The first one was Beach Please by Hands On Design, and you can see that Kathy showed you 2 different ways of doing it. One is on linen finished as a pillow, and the other one is done as individual little motifs. You just pick which ones you like the most. And she did them on perforated paper and mounted them in a shadow box style. And my framer, of course, can do those types of projects quite easily. And she decided to go the shadow box route. And let's see if I can show this without too much glare, kind of sideways there. So those are the 9 designs that she chose. And instead of doing it on brown perforated paper, she chose a pale teal. I'm actually still waiting for my order of paper to come in, but if you're interested, I'm getting a variety of colors because I feel like people are starting to work on paper again. So that's what she did. Alrighty. And then the second one she did was Thoughts of Halloween by Shepherd's Bush. And take a good look at that beautiful mat by Jill Rensel's studio. Bonnie did something a little bit different, and she did a frame stack instead of a decorated mat. So this is what she did. There are actually 3 different frames. It's such a sweet design. The ladies at Shepherd's Bush have such a knack for making Halloween looks sweet rather than scary, and all their little details, the little X's in the grass and the wrought iron fence that looks like it's made of spiders. Anyway, it's so sweet, and I love her finish, and so we will really enjoy having this on display. Okay, now I'm going to put in, I hope I remember to do this in the right order. I'll have to listen to my video as I'm editing it. I'm going to put in 2 new models from a local stitcher. Okay, since this was already hanging on the wall, I figured it would give me less to handle at my video station, so I thought I would just film this. a new model on loan that was recently framed here. It was stitched by Marlene Oleniak. I don't know what fabric that is. It's very interesting. All the colors really pop on it. And I love how she and Bonnie chose an orange core mat, which really picks up the orange lines on the frame. So this is called Halloween Wreath by Tiny Modernist. This is a second piece that Marlene loaned us called The Stockings Were Hung, also by Tiny Modernist, because she loves their sals. There's the whole design. It comes as a 4-part. Each chart is $6. And I just love all those fun colors. So we will really enjoy having those models on loan for a while. Alrighty, let's take a break from stitching to show you my Walmart haul. This was from a number of weeks ago, since I haven't done a video in about a month, so I apologize if they no longer have this, but when I was there, they just had tons and tons. And I guess the lesson is go to the chain stores often, check the seasonal departments, and buy it when you see it. So the first little thing is a set of blocks that I can use in my tiered tray, or just to sit around in another grouping on my bookshelf. So it was $5 for the set of 3. And then, make sure it's going in the right direction. I have this. This is also $5, and I thought it was great that the beads were already on it, and then I'll just make sure I, cover all the writing with something else fun. So, of course, I had to be really picky and make sure that they were, lined up pretty neatly on the corners. And then the next 3 are kind of all the same size in different colors. And these were also $5 each. So again, of course you could use these as is, but why not look for things that would be a good base for your cross stitch? I love that color. And then the last one is green. So that was my Walmart haul. And then if I, let's see, I think I'll try to show you my whips from oldest to newest. See if I did this correctly. So you've seen a couple updates on Bumblebee in. I don't remember if I had any of the flowers in last time, but I really enjoyed adding the flowers and the leaves. I just feel like it's coming to life. And of course I'm doing mine on blue instead of the recommended black. My only procrastination on this is figuring out what to substitute for the turquoise thread, because I'm not sure it's going to show up against the blue, but that'll be the very last thing I do. So that's Bumblebee In by Stitching with the Housewives. And then I believe I was working on, well, these were both, my next 2 projects were both expo releases, so I think I started this next. Strawberry Fair. And my brown hen was much lighter than theirs for the bird. So I'm doing mine using cocoa. And let's see, I didn't take this out of the bag yet. My lemongrass was also very light, and so was the last dye lot that I got in. So the cap of the strawberry is done in lemongrass, but mine is lighter. And at first I thought that it was just, how it looked on my fabric, because I chose, I think it's called Moss from Seraphim. Did I say it was Seraphim? I'll have to go back and look at my post. So I don't know, I guess it could be darker, but it's okay. It shows up against the fabric. Though, other thing that I had to change was the vine, because the overdyed was blending right into the fabric. So for the vine, I just chose a solid color anchor so that it would show up and parts of it would not get lost. And I really thought the color started popping when I added the persimmon. And then I stitched from Canadian Stitchery the Snowman Ugly Sweater, and I didn't finish it completely because I just wanted you to see how perfectly cut this backing piece is. It's laser cut to perfectly fit the back of the ornament. Easiest ornament finish you'll ever do. I had a lot of fun stitching this. I believe it was just like two nights or maybe a part of a third. I can't remember now. I think I said on my Instagram and Facebook posts, but it was really fun. The hardest part of doing this is actually winding your thread under the back. So it's helpful to use a long needle threader or a star detailer or something like that, or thread a thinner needle so that you can get it through, because the wood of course has no give to it. But anyway, that'll just be, you know, a couple minutes to put the hanger on and put the backing on that. So that's done. That's for me, because I always, when we do put up a tree, it's always usually a snowman or winter tree so that we can leave it up longer. Then I've spent 2 nights working on, this is part of Summer House Stitchworks Postcards from the Heart series. There's actually 2 designs. There's a snowflake too. So I'm doing that one. And that's what I got done in 2 nights. I'm using Tatanka from Weeks Dye Works because I liked how dark it was, and I chose the snowflake fabric. I had like a long scrap of this. I guess I could do something else on that part of it. I wanted to leave enough showing so that when I finish it, if I decide to leave more snowflake showing, I would be able to do that. But I still used a scrap. So you know me and my scraps. I don't like to throw anything away. And then because, you know, I couldn't leave well enough alone and let October go by without stitching something Halloween, I started working on Halloween Kisses from Primrose Cottage. And it uses 6 colors of DMC. And I don't know, I couldn't leave well enough alone, and I decided I wanted to use some overdyed, and it bit me like a spider because it didn't work out. So sometimes you have to just use what the designer called for. So this is, if you go back and look at my Facebook post, I did the words at the top in a color that I thought matched the DMC 553, but because it was overdyed, it just, I don't know, it just didn't, parts of it faded into the fabric and it just didn't look that good. So I took it out, and then I had stitched this in another color, which is very pretty in person. It's dark, but it's very pretty, not showing up good on camera. And I thought, okay, I'm going to leave that in for the time being, and then I'm going to stitch that in the DMC that they called for, and I think I'll leave it as that. I think I like that color. So I did the white and black will be anchor, and then the purple and the green will be the DMC that it called for, and the orange and the yellow are overdyed. So I used both Weeks Dye Works, Marigold, and Pumpkin. Alrighty. Oh, and this is 32 count charcoal Lugana, which was, you know, pretty similar to what they called for. And I'm doing 1 strand, and I like how 1 strand is turning out. The 32 Lugana, even though this is just a solid color and not an overdyed, it's just really tight. And one strand seems to be covering it, even the white. So anyway, I'm happy about that. Okay, my video is getting a little long. I was going to show you a whole bunch of new charts that came out since Expo, but I think I'll save that till next week because I may not have any new models or much progress on my stitching to show you. So I'm only going to show you one since it's October. Words of Hope by Southern, I'm not going to get the name right, Southern Stitchers Co., which is a new company for me. I had not heard of them before. They also do a line of floss called Southern Fried Floss. Try saying that a couple times fast. So I reached out to them to ask about their floss. Anyway, this was a new chart and a new company, and I thought I would give this away to somebody who would like to tell me a story, either about themselves or a friend or somebody in their family who had gone through cancer treatments. So the closest person to me was my sister-in-law, Patty, and she had ovarian cancer, and she has been cancer-free for 35 years. So just tell me your little story, and I will put you in a drawing for that. And then the giveaway from the last video was a choice of one of the Stitched Modern vinyl stickers and the bobbin twist ring, whatever that's called, from Expo. And I had chosen that winner a couple weeks ago. That was Debbie Luke. And I commented on her comment. So as soon as she gets back to me with her address and her choice, I will get that package out to her. I think that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye. And then I'll come back and show you something else fun. I'll decide in the meantime. Okay.